YouTube continues to grow and Hollywood continues to decline. What does that lead you to believe or lead you to think about, right? So us video people, yeah, the industry that we knew is low-key cooked, and I don't think it's changing anytime soon, at least. As I'm doing this talking head, I will be linking some little factoids on screen, but essentially the TLDR is that YouTube continues to grow. There continues to be more average watch time from people. There continues to be more shorts being consumed, and Hollywood continues to do less and less productions, and they are trying to lay people off so that they can start lowering the rates of employees and the rates of freelancers because, it costs way too much money to produce a singular movie, and these blockbuster movies that cost however millions. I just think that that's not like a sustainable model anymore with like a bit of a flooding of content that we're getting. Not to mention that you're also competing with AI slop and things, right? So the amount of money that it costs to produce certain movies is probably not sustainable. I think going forward, when it comes to Hollywood, we're going to see a lot more independent films, Obsession and Backrooms, which are smaller, lower budget movies and primarily pushed by people that have their own following to some capacity, whether that is with shorts, YouTube, whatever that they do, but they are going to be the ones creating these lower budget films. I think that's the future of filmmaking. It's always kind of gone in that direction. Like indie filmmaking has always been a thing, right? But I think that it more than ever, it's like a double down. There's not as much of a barrier anymore with equipment because, as I've said many times on this channel, you can go to Best Buy and buy a very capable camera that could definitely shoot a feature-length film. Yes, you still have the other tools around it, like lighting and editing and all these different extra things that go into creating a film. That's not going to go away, but more than ever it is accessible to pretty much everybody that sets their mind to it, and there's not like a barrier. I mean, you can make a film and promote it. You can make a film and then promote it with your own following, and you don't really need Hollywood for that anymore. Can think of countless examples from the top of my head of YouTubers that are transitioning into making high-level actual films. There was like a generation where YouTubers were getting into films, but they were making kind of like comedies and they weren't serious films, but now we are getting to the next level where the next generation of filmmakers are actually pursuing online presences and then using that to propel their own careers and make actual real films. We have the guys from Talk to Me, we have Chris Stuckman, we have the guy that made Obsession, the guy that made Backrooms, and that's I'm not even looking at talking points. These are just facts that I know. There's probably tons of examples of people that I don't know. Oh, Markiplier, just out of that one. Markiplier made a film. He's one of the OG YouTubers. The film did pretty well. None of these people needed to go to Hollywood for anything. In fact, they might have not even shot the films in Los Angeles. I don't know if they did. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if any of them shot in Los Angeles, but they probably did not need to shoot these productions in Los Angeles. For a reason why Hollywood kept everybody going there is because that's where the rental houses were. That's where the crew is. That's where the talent is. That's where everything is over there. Now everything's becoming a little bit more fragmented. There's people everywhere. There's qualified crew in most mid to large cities. There are very talented, highly qualified, and highly sought after crew in each one of those cities, even middle of the road cities. A city I would consider rather small and insignificant, like Oklahoma City or something. Sorry if you're from Oklahoma City and you're like, why is she calling us insignificant? But I'm sure that there are extremely talented people out there that would be able to produce a feature-length film and you would be able to crew up a whole film. This whole thing about, we have to go to Hollywood because that's like where everything is and we have to film in LA, that's not the case anymore. So that right there takes so much power out of this city and out of this ecosystem. And the introduction that somebody could be shooting on an Osmo Pocket like I am right now and make a video that gets so many views on YouTube that is ridiculous. Or somebody makes a TikTok or something and that TikTok gets so many views. Some of these movies that are flopping just cannot compare with the amount of money that they burn between getting no viewership and how much it costs to produce these films. Like, it's like bankruptcy. Like, it is crazy. There's also a lot of people in the film industry, I guess, such as myself, who used to shoot shows and that sort of thing, and now they're kind of like abandoned by the traditional industry. Like, there's not enough space for us. The unions aren't really helping us, and they're kind of just, that whole segment is losing power. So there's a lot of like what I would say are rogue agents. Like, there's a lot of highly qualified, highly capable filmmakers, and they're kind of like, they're trying to find a home. film. They're like, I don't know, I'm getting a couple industry jobs, I'm doing some freelance stuff over here, I should try this content thing. Those people getting into YouTube and getting onto social media, that's killer, because those are highly qualified, highly motivated, highly skilled people that are now going to be on these platforms competing. YouTube used to be a thing that people kind of watched on their phones or on their computer or whatever, but the viewership on TV is really high right now. You have high quality documentaries, high quality researched shot videos. Like, you have insane content that is being produced and thrown onto YouTube right now with no distribution, no going through no agency, no going through any Hollywood, anything. And they're being put directly on YouTube right now. An example of this is this guy named Mike Klum. He did like a Boogie 298 documentary. I don't know that much about him. I haven't really like met him or anything, but just by seeing his stuff and based on the little I know of him, I know that he is a highly qualified rogue agent of the film industry. I know that he is able to produce very high quality filmmaking content at the highest level. And he made this documentary about Boogie, singular video by the way, on his channel. It blew up. And now he's working on another documentary about this guy named EDP, which is like basically a character on the social media sphere, which is, he's not a very great guy. He's what's the word? He's a PDF, you know? But he was like a relatively big YouTuber back in the day. This guy, Mike Klum, is making a full-fledged documentary. These documentaries are on par with something you would see on Netflix. He is setting up the lights. He probably has a crew. It's high-level stuff, okay? It took him 2 years of following this guy around to create this content. So you're no longer competing with like random little people in their rooms. There's still some of that. There is some lower level, lower production content on YouTube that's still gonna be there, and it will be there. But now you're getting these big dogs coming on, and they're like, you know, like, I'm like, why would you go through Hollywood? Why would you put your documentary through a film festival that, by the way, if you're not familiar with the film world or any of that, film festivals make you pay to go put your film there. They make you travel out, fly yourself out, and for what? For nothing? So that you can have the chance of somebody watching your film at these festivals. I mean, it's cool that your doc will get like all these accolades. It's cool that you might see it in a big screen. So those factors are cool, but I've seen incredible results of people just slapping it onto YouTube, and that's enough. The guy who made Obsession, originally his short that he put onto YouTube went viral and got him a bunch of accolades. He just plopped it straight onto YouTube. I don't know if he did I actually don't know if he did a festival run, to be honest. I don't know if he did any festival runs on that documentary. I'll have to double check that. But regardless, my point still stands, is that you can go and make epic content, upload it directly, and have no middleman just taking your money and not really doing that much for you, because, you know, maybe back in the day they used to help you with distribution and all these different things, or they used to help you get a budget for your film. But if you're already so connected in the industry, if you're already a working professional, a lot of times you know people in the industry who are willing to do favors, so you're able to save money there. A lot of us have our own equipment as well, so you're able to save money there. So this barrier that used to be so high, that you could only get certain cameras from rental houses, that you could only get certain crew in LA, like that's all getting like kind of torn down. Even actors and stuff. Since you have a lot of people streaming and a lot of UGC creators and a lot of people just getting into kind of being on camera and being comfortable talking on camera, since you're getting a lot of those, that means you might even be able to find people that are comfortable on camera more than ever, more than having to go through SAG and get an actor that's already all seasoned. You might be able to poach somebody off of TikTok. Are you kidding? Sometimes you watch TikToks. Sometimes I watch a TikTok where I'm like, wow, this acting, this little skit that they made on their phone, like is like they're actually kind of good. So if you're able to just conjure up all these people to create a film, like it is so doable now. I think the future of Hollywood, just being real, will be these niche legacy films, right? Like, or just people that are doing it at the highest level, like somebody like Christopher Nolan, where he's basically like a Picasso, right? The industry will be these high level, high production, and those people will be there, that high class of filmmaking. They'll still be there, and they'll be doing their thing, and then they'll be being on theaters and trying to do the IMAX experience and all this. But for everybody else, like, I just feel like it's gonna be an indiefication of filmmaking more than ever. And I just can't see it going any other way. Like, we all have access to building an audience. Why would we need to go through anybody else? I think you're also going to see a lot of collaborations with large YouTubers or large people that have a following in a certain space. Everybody's kind of funneling the film to their different audiences, things like that. Like, there's so much opportunity now for that kind of content and for that kind of project.